Hey guys, welcome to episode 17 of the Trainer Feed. We're going to have our guest Lulu later on, or shortly, should I say. But before we do that, let's see and check in how the guys are doing. David, how you feeling?
Feel good, hanging in there. It's been a weird week. So there was a couple of days where I was feeling under the weather, like just with a headache. But then I was fine, like a day after. So maybe it's just allergies.
Nothing crazy, dude.
Fingers crossed.
Knock on wood, man. Keep wearing your mask. You're good. Angel, how you feeling?
Feel pretty good. Got some more equipment came in this week. And
Damn, you're the reason my client can't get any fucking equipment, bro.
Angel Industries, he's got everything.
Jesus.
I used to buy a lot of stuff online and, have like a system to it. So
of course you do.
Just get your stuff on an email and then have everything set up. So PayPal, whatever, just set it up so you don't even have to dig in your wallet.
That's smart.
And then it's just like 2 clicks and you're done. You can
Life
do it.
hacks.
Yeah, you can do it right now. But yeah, everything was good. Had a good week. Everything's good to go. How about you, Jacques?
Good. Lay low. Kind of try to, like we said last week, try and listen to the body, try to rest a bit more. And then there's I know this guy. There was one funny story I want to share with you guys. Have you ever put something in a smoothie and realized, after you put it in, thought, "Fuck, now I've got to drink it"?
I mean, I decided that before I put it in the fucking smoothie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You guys know those ginger shots that are iced? You ever seen that? They're like little ice cubes.
No.
They sell them, I think, at Trader Joe's in the frozen section. So we have ginger shots, but we also have garlic shots. So you can kind of tell where this is going already, right? So bearing in mind, my body's been feeling a little like worse for wear. So all right, make sure I get some anti-inflammatories like ginger. Ginger's like my go-to. So I'm like, fuck it, let's put 3 ginger shots in there. Tasting, I'm like, it's got like a weird taste. And dude, garlic in a smoothie is
a fucking idiot. You're a fucking dumbass.
So
bro.
Alex, are you gonna finish it? I can't waste it, man. So besides that, like
I would have given it to Alfie.
Yeah, he would have eaten it. But I got more equipment. I got the rings, so the gymnastic rings. So I tested those out this morning. I didn't do 10 sets of 10. They were broken up, but they were 100 pull-ups on the rings. It was like
nice.
The first 2 sets were 10, then it was 8 and 3, or like 8 and 2, and then 7 and 3. So I had to break it down. But I ended up doing 100. So within like however long. So like I thought, you know what, Angel fucking crushes 10 by 10. I gotta start crushing 10 by 10.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's about it. Excited to have Lulu on today. Got a good friend of ours and an old manager. So without further ado, should we bring her on?
Yep.
Let's do it. Yo, Lulu, fix that camera, yo. There you go.
Oh my goodness. Lulu.
What's up?
What's up, Lulu?
Here.
Finally. How you doing?
Oh, great. It's so nice to see you guys.
Yeah, it's so good to
great
have you
seeing
on and talk to you. Yeah, I love it.
I know.
How have
It's
you
been
been?
forever.
For real.
Yeah, right. I think the last time we spoke was like...
Oh, it was when you left us. I remember.
Right, yeah, it's true. I think I left the club and everything went down.
That's what happens,
Wow.
really. It's what happens to a place when you leave it. Everything shuts
Shade.
down.
You know. How you guys doing?
Good.
Going good.
Chilling.
Hanging in
Yeah, we're
there.
good.
Wanting to fucking go to work.
Oh, man. I see like everybody with a little bit different styles. Jacques.
Trying to go-
like...
Chuck's in a
With a
fucking boy band now.
wire,
Like, that's his sidekick.
Stan look.
You don't even know who the fuck Stan is. Lulu, I don't know if you know who Stan is.
Oh, man.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Don't worry. Lulu. It's not important, Lulu. Don't worry about it. I don't either. Fine.
Excellent. Good.
But yeah, so we want to like get into a little bit about you and like learn about like your career and your career path. And we had your bio, and we saw that you had a like a previous like life in dance and whatnot. So if you could just give us a brief introduction as to like how you got your career to the point where you are now in terms of fitness and health.
Of course. Excellent. You guys got a time? Because
We'll cut you
off.
We got
time.
You ramble
we got so much time
cut you
off. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yo, shut up, Lulu.
I know. You can. It's your show. You can.
Never.
But yeah, so I started with dance when I was still a little girl. I did a lot of things in dance. It was like my real passion at the time. I had the experience of traveling a lot in the early age, and in my like young time, I went into other countries, which like was a great experience for me, not only with dance, but like personal, right? Like when you're living in the country, you always have that opportunity to grow, right? Like it's chaotic at first because you're learning a new culture, you're learning a new language, but then you also like you're reaching your person, right? So I like it. I like it a lot. So the dance brought that to my life very early. I used to dance like everything at the time. And because of this history in dance, I wanted to do other things where I could impact even more people, but it's still in like fitness, health industry, right? Because dance is also like a way of you keep your sanity, you're moving your body, you're like having all this physicality and everything. So when I was ready like to apply for college, I started doing this thing that in Brazil called physical education. Maybe here is, I don't know, exercise science, where I could like experience other things in college, like some sports. Honestly, I'm not an ice sports girl. I don't play anything well, but I do like the other side. I think the beauty of this industry is that there is a lot of areas that you can focus on that is not only play sports, right? And I think this like caught my attention, and I always liked this environment, the gym environment, and to help people to be better, right? To accept what they are and improve what they feel needs improvement, you know. And I did this for myself too. I used to live in Italy, and over there, even though I went there with dance, I went a little bit overboard with all the pasta available. And
I can only imagine.
Nutella. And I was eating Nutella in the breakfast. I said, oh my God, what's going
Nutella? Oh my God, I love Nutella.
Yes.
Nutella's the best.
Oh my God. And I don't know if you guys have been in Italy, but like the meal there, like when you go for dinner, lunch, it's several plates. So like you have the entry, but like you have the appetizers, entry, and then you have the fish or the meat, and then you have the pasta.
For breakfast?
Imagine that you eat, sorry?
For breakfast?
No, for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
You can if you want.
Damn. That's a lot. Fuck.
But like by lunch or dinner. So, and also there is like interesting thing that when the lunchtime, you have the siesta time. So after lunch, everybody goes to sleep. You know, that nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you should take a siesta, Jacques. You know, see, people do it. It's okay to take a nap throughout the day, people. It's all right.
It is. So no then comment. I think all that new life, new culture, just, you know, and again, I was there to perform a dance performance, right? So then when I went back to Brazil, I was really out of the shape acceptable for a ballerina, right? So then I had to put myself an exercise routine and take care of my eating habits, then making sure I'm in the right path,
Yeah.
But I had a good time.
Was that like your focus? Your focus was ballet?
Yes, in a sense. It's hard because, like I said, I did so many things in dance, like styles in dance. So, like, I did tap dance. That I was doing everything at once. And then when you created this show, like this performance, I had a choreography which I was participating in each of these styles. I had a choreography doing tap dances. I was doing the jazz. I was doing the classic one. So I was doing all.
Holy smoke. So maybe you did need to eat that much in order to like perform in the first place. They were underfeeding you in Brazil, and then you go over there, you're like,
load,
finally.
Carbs,
Holy smoke.
Fuel for the body. First thing.
Yeah, but it's okay. But I was happy. And that is fine too. By the time also that I got in Brazil, in my mind, I was already also ready for a little change in the career. So everything worked for the best.
Got you. With that said, like I wanted to talk a little bit about like a couple of things that you spoke about. So in your travels, where have you seen like an exceptional amount of focus placed on health and wellness? And where hasn't it been? So you had made mention that you went to Europe for a while. I'm pretty sure, Brazil's a big country, so I'm pretty sure different town to town, like things can vary, but does anything stand out now in the US? Does anything stand out to you like that you've seen in your travels?
In terms like of fitness people, like how they focus in their health, their physical health.
Correct. Yeah.
Like all these countries, honestly, like I don't see as much focus like I see in Brazil, right? But like here in the United States, I see a lot of people worried about their health. I think this is even like growing more than actually when I just moved here. I think maybe just because my eyes is open now for those things too, right? When you get here, you are just not so worried about to see those things. But I see significant change on that too. In the countries that I passed by or I lived there, there's no such a culture of like fitness, right? Of course, have people that are gonna take care of themselves and worry about their health, but I didn't see much of at that time. Like we are talking about like over a decade ago, so back then the industry also was not shaped the way it is today. So at that time, I didn't see any like major care in going after improving yourself in that manner,
Yeah, and they also say like, I mean, I don't know too much about it, but they say like the US is very big on like intervention, the side of things. They're interventing during like obesity or something like that, but not necessarily like preventative stuff. Like we're not that great in that regard. But I do know that certain countries have like, huge places where you can like have roadways for like cyclists and people to run, and like huge playgrounds for like not only like kids but like for adults to like work out and things like that. But I don't know if that's different between like the US and Brazil, like if you see more of that over there, or like, you know, more active lifestyle as a country versus like the US. But
I think in general, like culturally, like we are raised completely different, right? I go out and I see kids in their strollers, even when they are 5, 7 years old. You know, like that we will not have it in Brazil. You know,
so annoying.
a
Like
little
get up and fucking walk.
child. What?
Like get up and fucking walk. You're 6 years old.
I'm telling
Jesus.
you. Exactly. You know, so in Brazil, the poor child, 2 years old, she is forced, or he is forced to walk. And it's not like we live in New York City that everything is flat. In Brazil is like, it's a lot of hills, you know, and you are forced to walk on those hills.
Yeah.
So it's different on that too. Like the landscape is completely different. And since early, like when you were a child, you were playing soccer on the streets, you know, like, so you are encouraged to engage in some physical activity very early in your life, which here, even to walk, is everything easier for you, right? You put your baby in the stroller, and then of course when they go to school they do all this extra curriculum, but it's not the same because in Brazil is your lifestyle.
Right.
Here is not a lifestyle. You know, I think that is the huge difference.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Even when we talk to our clients, like sometimes they say, oh, but I work out like you know, I train like 1 hour 2 times a week or 3 times a week, but their lifestyle is relatively sedentary. It's the same sort of thing. It's like if the lifestyle is not that active, then it doesn't really matter if you do like, you know, the high intensity training for like an hour, you know, once or twice every week or something like that. That's not the game changer. The game changer is like if you have to climb up a mountain to get to work or something like that.
Yeah, good. You got it.
I got it. I understand. And then just I wanted to go into a little bit of like some of the hurdles that you might have had to overcome in terms of your career to get you to the point where you are now. So can you talk about any of the hurdles or obstacles that have come your way and how you've managed to deal with them head on to be the strong and powerful woman that you are today?
Wow, thank you. Thank you for the question, and thank you for the compliment.
Oh God. All right, bye guys.
Yeah, I've been through a lot. Of course, probably like here is not like a competition like how who suffers most, is not that, but like my path was not always easy, but also was not the worst path ever. But I started very young with dance and everything, something that I always liked. But even though I never had any issues with them, like my father always provide for me, but like we never had like extra money to invest on those things, right? Or money for college. So I always had to earn my place with scholarship, right? So I always, even like in Brazil, I had to work really hard to earn my place. And then when I moved here, as you guys know, I didn't know any English. And then it's hard because it was like the second time that I had to learn a language from scratch, right? I went to Europe and I stayed mostly in Italy, so I had to learn a little Italian there. So, but here I didn't know anything, and then took me 8 months studying to speak English when I gave myself the opportunity to apply for jobs. And then thankfully I got an opportunity in another company, and then like shortly after at Equinox, right? And it's hard when you're foreign and you're learning everything from scratch, and then you have a lot of like pre-concept about you, and with everything that is going on now, I've been the minority in everything, right? I'm a foreign, I have accent, I'm a woman, like, so you have to deal with all this, and people are tough on you. They don't care.
People are assholes.
Yeah, so even when I was applying for jobs, and when I got a job, I have managers come to me to say that I will not make it because of my accent.
Wow.
So I could easily let that define me, but instead I just had to work harder than anybody else, because I was, and I am in the process of learning a new language, adapt to a new environment and a new style of like work force, right? And deal with people opinion about me. So what was pretty hard, and this job that what you mainly do is talk. So this could discourage me completely. Mm-hmm. But I managed to be top trainer in the company at Equinox, like a little bit less than 2 years working with the company, and I became manager a little bit before completing three years with the company. So I want to say that it was hard, but I'm proud of my journey until this point. I still want to do more, and it still is hard in a way. But of course, I can deal with the criticism and kind of racism too. I'm brown, so I get that too. I get all the things I told you. So, it's hard. It's different if you're foreign from white countries, and maybe hopefully Jack understand that. Maybe when he came here, he didn't go through everything because he comes from a white country, is received and perceived in different way than you come from a poor country, like a Latino country, or you are just seen different and perceived different from society. And I'm saying all that to say that hopefully this little passage in my life help to inspire others with this similar experience mine, that no matter what you go through, just keep yourself focused, your mind in the right place, and go after what you want for yourself, because you're gonna get it no matter what or who is just rooting against you, as long as you got yourself.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's very powerful, and I can empathize with some of the sentiments. Obviously, I'm not in your shoes, and it's very difficult for me to understand. But I can only imagine, right? But I think one thing that we could take away is just when we see somebody, we can't immediately jump to conclusions about who they are and what they represent based off of what they look like, right? So we have to get to know each other and have faith that the person on the other side is a good person who has similar values, and then take our time to get to know them and learn from them and help them. And then people like them get up to the top, because good people should be at the top and good people should be running things.
Thank you. I agree.
Damn right.
I agree with everything Angel said, and jumping on, picking back on what you said, like coming from a different country, or depending if you're like white or someone of color, like I definitely had it easier coming over to the States, like you said, like being white, having lived in a country that was English speaking. What was surprising was how contrasting a lot of lifestyle changes I had to make, or even just the way I spoke. Maybe I shouldn't have changed the way I speak. Still to this day, when these guys give me mock me for saying how I say garage or garage, I stick with it. But going back to
it's a garage, bro.
The language is invented in England, but
Jesus.
my case.
Wait, I have a question. Actually, this is a huge sidebar. But do you guys put, either of you, do you guys put mustard on your cheeseburgers or on your burgers or whatever?
Not out of. Go on, Lulu.
You can. You're gonna start.
All I was gonna say was I wouldn't out of preference, but if I wanted something to add it to, because the burger, let's say someone overcooked it, it's so dry, I would add it. But I'm not like, Adam, I need mustard. It doesn't. I don't really care.
You gotta add ketchup, mayo, bro.
Mayo, what do you say? Mayo ketchup?
Mayo con ketchup.
Lulu, what do you do?
Yeah, Lulu.
Oh my goodness.
Is there mustard?
People mock me too, including you guys.
But it's out of love, Lulu. We do it out of love.
I don't mock you. What the hell are you talking about?
I never mock you.
When have I ever mocked you?
Oh, the poor.
Oh my God, you're killing me, Lulu. You're killing me.
I just correct you when you're grammatically incorrect. I don't think that's mocking.
I'm the only one who
Jacques says a word incorrectly.
I'm the only one who could speak Portuguese in here aside from Lulu.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta get to know your people.
Bom dia.
Bom dia, guys. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Boa tarde.
Oh, look at that.
And I learned acento today as well, which is chair or something.
Acento.
Asiento.
Yeah, it's very formal way of saying acento, can be a chair, but chair is cadeira.
Cadeira means hip, Lulu. What are you talking about?
That's excellent.
But I wanted to kind of circle back to I don't think it was the same, because I was someone of color, and when I moved from England to France back to England, I did know both languages a little bit. But like you said, when your mind thinks in a language, to start thinking another language is very difficult. And there are people and even in again, I am white and I'm male, so it's not fair to make the comparison. But having been in the shoes that you go abroad where you're not home, where it's not your first language, it does take a bit more time. And that's why when my dad recently mentioned that we almost moved to China or Russia, I was like, thank God we didn't. Yeah, and that's not me being racist. I would have had a very hard time adjusting to those cultures.
Oh shit, Jacques.
No,
I can't believe you said that, bro.
I understand, Jacques.
They're very, so, and who knows, it might have been a great thing, but I totally hear what you're saying. When people, the thing I will say, when people put you down, and when someone tells you your experience, you're not going to make it because of your accent, I actually almost applaud those people, at least to me, because I'm like, all right, you just lit my fire. You are just adding so much fuel to my fire. And it's not that I'll prove you wrong tomorrow. Might be in 10 years, might be 20 years from now. But the fact that you said that makes me so much more. If you're already a motivated individual, which we all know that you have just increased that motivation level. So if anything, I think they look more stupid for just saying that. And I hate that way of saying you're not going to do it because of this. That's so close-minded, so old-fashioned as well. So again, not quite the same scenarios, but I have felt some level in the past. And I actually come into the States, I felt more as an individual or more welcome for my background of being what they say, a mutt, right? I have different nationalities. It's crazy. It's just so different. Whereas in England, not that I ever got it that bad, but I was reminded that I wasn't local. I wasn't, whereas here it's everyone is from somewhere else. And I at least in New York City.
Doc, you're kind of Latino, bro.
Right.
I mean, you're kind of
I'm becoming Latino, hey.
I'm just,
You
I mean,
could.
don't ever do that again. What the hell was that, Jacques?
He could. He just can't talk.
I just gotta watch more Narcos, then I'll be okay.
No, wow.
That's how I learned my Spanish.
You know, they casted a Brazilian as Pablo Escobar.
I know,
which you know, some people were like, "The fuck is wrong?"
Wagner, right? What's his last name? Wagner.
I don't fucking know. My buddy Sebastian.
There you go. See.
Mm-hmm.
No, my buddy Sebastian is Colombian, and he was so pissed off.
Yeah, but I heard they did a good job.
He did. I thought he did a great job, but
I
my buddy was just butthurt. He's
if
like,
you're
Brazilian to do a Colombian's job. I'm like, bro, like.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get the guy himself anyway. So it's
but he wanted somebody that was Colombian. That's the thing. Like he wanted someone that was Colombian. Like, come on, dude.
All right,
Lulu, you're gonna say something.
Yeah, just like bring it to the contest. Like let the Colombia narco traffic in there. But like talking about again what you're saying, I agree 100%. You know, like when someone try to put you down, maybe it's not even their intention, but it's just the way they are not even thinking. But if I have accent, and this means it's just because I dared to try something new.
Right.
You know, I abandoned my language to learn another language, and then goes to like people think because I don't speak your language perfectly that I might not be as smart as you.
Yeah.
And I'm saying me, but like this is everybody, and this has nothing to do with how smart you are. No. You know, your language is not my primary language. Honestly, we don't need to speak your language so perfectly. I wanted, because of course I wanted to speak correctly.
You just need to be able to communicate.
Exactly. But you know, I speak at least 2 languages. How many languages do you speak?
Yeah, I like that argument though. When people say same thing about my Spanish when I speak it, like I like when I go to like I say the future in-laws and everyone speaks Spanish and I bet I speak Spanish. It's like you said, it's not because I don't want to speak Spanish, it's because I also know 2 languages before this one. Or like you're saying, Portuguese and Italian, you said, right? It was the second language. So I speak 2 languages. Now incorporating this third language, like, and then people say like you either have or you don't know languages. No, it's work for everyone. You know, it's so I feel you there as well. Like, well, it's not I don't want to, it's I already know 2 languages prior to this one. So that's I get that as well. Yeah.
It is hard, but I try to put myself in the people that criticize me or all foreigners in their shoes too, you know.
Everyone.
Yeah, but the fact that, you know, like David put it well too, I just needed to be able to communicate well, right?
Right.
And of course, in my position, I wanted to constantly working in my English. But I do want to keep my accent and like speak wrong one word here and there. I don't think kills anyone, you know, like it's just to remind myself that yes, I'm Brazilian and I'm very proud of it, you know.
If anything, I'm annoyed that when I came over, I was actually very conscious of I know it sounds crazy, but I was very conscious of my accent. And I remember going to a place to order food and they're like, "What, honey?" And I was like, I am speaking English, aren't I? Like, I am still speaking the language I've spoken my whole life. So I had to like accommodate certain words and like there's certain things that like, there are some things I refuse to say differently or as Americans say, or like, but then also part of it is if you keep saying the word that no one associates with what it is, then you're constantly having to translate it anyway. So like, you pick your battles. So I hats off to you for like wanting to keep your accent because I feel like I almost want to hide it at first, whereas now it's whatever. Now I go back to the UK and they're like, "Oh, you sound American." I was like, "Can't fucking win." I go here and I sound this. Go here. So I'm like, the other one I get is I sound Canadian. So even when I went to Paris, I think they thought I was Canadian. I went to a game in Brooklyn. They're like, "Oh, you from Canada?" I was like, "What? No, I live here." So I've had that too, and it's whatever. I did want to turn the focus a little bit. So we mentioned that you did leave the West 76er location, which you are a manager for at least 2 years, right? I want to say
2 years, yeah.
So, and then as we you mentioned like learn the language a lot more. Like I know I definitely noticed in like the emails and communication with you how much better English got, right? And that's I attribute to you eventually getting promoted to Hudson Yards. Unfortunately, everything stopped, but tell us a bit about how your experience had been, being promoted to Hudson Yards, because that is also the flagship of the company, not only New York City, but the flagship of the company.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very thankful for this opportunity, of course. I was at West 763, like you said, for about 2 years, and be considered for our like club like that was like huge for me. I was there exactly for 15 days before we had to close down.
That's it?
That's it, because I started there March 1st and March 16 we are just
like hey Lulu,
God.
welcome. Oh, by the way,
Goodbye.
Go home. We're like, you're done.
Exactly. It was more or less like this. But the brief in-person experience that I had there was very good, honestly. Like, it's a very unique club with a different type of energy, right? With the hotel there. My team, they are very supportive, and they're good group too. So
Who's better?
now, sorry?
Who's better?
Ignore his question. It's fine. Keep going.
Hi, David. That is so typical of you.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. What do you want me to do?
You can ignore him. It's fine, Lulu.
I'm genuine. I keep it real.
You keep it real, exactly. But you guys are very different group, like especially because West 76th Street is more like a senior staff in terms of like time in the company and also like age group, which is very different from Hudson Yards, where we have a smaller group too, and most of them is like more young, and the club was not open, not even a year when I moved there. So it's completely different, right? So it was different going in that environment too. But like you guys was 45 trainers, and now I have a little bit more than 20. So wow. I feel like I'm on vacation, But like I said, my experience there was just too brief.
So short. Wow.
Yeah, a lot about it. But as of now, I want to say that creating a good relationship with my team, even while we are at home, so I think when we are back, things gonna just go from better, like gonna be better.
It's a nice club too, right? It's the one, right? Those of you who aren't from New York, so it's right in a very newly renovated, built up area, Hudson Yards, and it's so nice view of the water.
It's true.
A client of mine, the way she refers to Hudson Yards, not the club, but like just the actual structure, the fucking stairs that go all the way up. She's like, oh, the shawarma looking thing. Like I'm like, it looks exactly like
it's not bad.
No, but me and Jacques walked by Hudson Yards and we looked at the balcony that Equinox has, I think with the pool. It looks pretty dope.
We saw on the outside. I actually went in, I think, a couple of times, and it's no, not like illegally.
You snuck in. Wow.
No, legally. I did a workshop there and I did something else. I did I think we got a workout. I can't remember who let us in, but we it was really nice. It's a very different vibe. And I have to say that, like, me and Angel, when we moved to sports club, again, we've been in quarantine longer than we were at the club, right, at this point. So that feels odd as well to, like, to be on Zoom calls with our our now 7 month in management, right? Like, it feels weird still, not referring to like you and Andrew. It's still like that's just the norm for last 2 and a bit years. Yeah. And then seeing other team members on the call, it's like you get on with everyone, but it's just a different vibe, different energy. And when we had Mike on here as well, he said the same thing. He said it's like everyone's nice at his new club. It's just a little different. And I think that senior age group of trainers it does make it, I almost think, not easier, but that structure allows you to build a more sound business, I feel like, right? Because you have the trainers that are there from 6 a.m. to 1, and they leave. So, all right, I know my opportunity can be in the afternoon or the evening. Like, you kind of get that impression. I know I worked out at Hudson Yards right before all this happened, and I was like, I'll be back. But speaking of working out, it's funny because Alex didn't want us to go, and I was like, no, I want to go. So since then, that's one of the last times I worked out in a gym, actually, which is kind of crazy. But speaking of working out, and we have everyone that we've had on here, we've kind of looked at what their routines have looked like. Tell us a bit more about what your workouts have looked like, how you stay consistent, what your equipment you have, so on.
I never been this active in my whole life, even when I was working out with Angel. I gave so much hard time to Angel.
Oh, you fired, Angel. Fuck.
Greg was supposed to take my spot.
Angel. What?
Greg was supposed to take my spot, and then Lulu,
he's on the beach somewhere. He can't.
Lulu got hurt right before her first session or something like that.
No, it was not his. I cannot blame him. It was not his fault. But it was funny. He's supposed to train me, but like when you left, but that week I hurt my back, and then was a disaster.
He could barely move. I remember that.
You remember? You see?
I was making fun of you.
Sure.
See how you are. Instead of help me, you make fun of me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen.
I deserve heaven.
People don't listen to me, so it's fine.
But yeah, I have a good setup at home. I have a Viper, I have kettlebells, I have 2 barbells, one 35, one 45 pounds. I do have a little bench.
Now you're laughing, David. Do you hear all this? She's got a whole gym right here.
I don't even invite us to work out.
You guys, you can come.
Don't invite David. We still think he might have some form of the virus, so don't invite David.
Hey, let's hope, right? Get me out of here.
I do have a foam roller. What I have here.
Is that the gym right there? Is that the makeshift gym?
Some of it. I have all bands.
Looks like a lot of equipment.
Bands, cook bands, whatever, super bands.
Fuck, yo.
I do have a good setup.
Yeah, you do.
Did you have that before the quarantine,
yeah,
or did you have that before everything shut down, or what?
I had the majority of it. The kettlebells, I recently got them, and I recently bought a stationary bike. So I do now have everything.
Oh, fuck this.
I know.
What?
Yo, we see all these people from the club like having all these fucking gyms in their apartment. We're like, what the hell's going on? Everybody, we just missed out.
Yeah, we will say there is a follower that has an alarmingly huge amount of equipment. It's a
boutique
little
gym.
Yeah, it's a little
sketch.
But mine, I had to buy all.
It was legit. We believe you, Lulu. We believe you.
I'm serious.
Show us receipts. No, we believe you.
Yo, send them receipts, bro.
But yeah, so you have so much equipment. You have so much. You have the bike. Oh, I want to order one here, but we don't really have the room. And I was considering, is it something I can kind of keep somewhere here and then roll up to the rooftop or something? But I don't know. But that's awesome.
It is awesome. But also, I think I have all this, but a few things I just recently got them. But also in between apartments in my own building, but in between apartments. So they space sometimes is the struggle. I have everything, but sometimes it's just they space. But I'm finishing up my apartment where I have one room only for gym stuff. So I'm gonna have space to work out and train my clients. So that's why putting everything together so I have a nice setup. And
that's cool.
Nice. Wow, that's
awesome.
awesome.
My clients. Yeah, And and on top of that, like to be closer to my friends, I'm also like catching their classes, like the group classes, just to hold myself accountable, right? You have those days that, okay, you have all this at your disposal, but you didn't get out feeling I wanted to work out.
Yeah.
So now is the opportunity to be with
every day
with my friends and also like exercise. So far I've been very on track with everything, right? Have weeks that is better than others, but I was saying average, pretty active.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I think like for the mental health standpoint as well, like being able to, that's awesome. You have all that equipment there, right? I'm actually really jealous you have an air bike. Really jealous. So that's awesome.
We're gonna pay you a visit. We're gonna take all
like,
that.
can we pay $10 now just the bike? But
you guys can come once I'm downstairs. We can make it happen. You guys
let us know.
Can do the show from here.
And you got the rooftop too, right?
Don't make promises you can't keep, Lulu. We'll take it. We'll fucking every week, same time. You're there.
I do have a rooftop too, so here we go.
Damn, we can use a rooftop too. I was gonna say, it's funny because I also think that the quarantine, I felt that the quarantine was gonna make it that I would struggle to keep in some sort of shape. I think it's almost been easier from a standpoint that, all right, I don't, unfortunately don't have that work. We don't have the same number of hours for work commitment. So you can really prioritize that workout time. And also, let's not forget, we're probably all sleep on average a lot more, most of us, right? And then when you talk about regeneration and making sure that you're well rested, well prepared for another workout, like if you're getting that amount of sleep that you are now, which is more an average of like between 7 and 9 as opposed to like 6 and 7.5, your workouts are way more efficient. I definitely feel that way, and it sounds like it does for you. Before I finish off though, I did mention like having started Hudson Yards, and had this not happen, you could probably get a clearer sense of like where you're projecting your career. That being said, let's say we look right now, let's say we were to come back in gyms within 6 months, 6 months, like where would you see yourself professionally 10 years from now?
I still have a few things that I want to accomplish in my managerial journey. So I'm planning on stay in this path for at least a couple more years. But in the meantime, I'm also working something else where I wanted to be working from like a more virtual platform where I can still work in what I love to do from any place, right? Like I live here, but my whole family is in Brazil. So if I wanted to go in Brazil and stay for 6 months with them, I can and still be able to work, right? If I wanted to move to Costa Rica, I can, whatever and wherever I am, I can provide service. And I want to also like work on things that is not only movement, right? I like to work with like mobility, functional movement, longevity. So I think that is my type of training, and clientele. So I would love to have that format where we have like multidisciplinary team, or the physical therapist, registered dietitian, and everybody working to bring even more benefit to the client, right? And I think I mentioned that now I'm also pursuing more this life coaching style because I believe on that too. I think the power and the strength of someone is not always in their physicality. It's not only because they can lift heavier, but it's when they can't find that their potential, right, is from inside out, is from within. And if I can guide someone to find that power and that strength, then it's going to be amazing. I think that is what I'm looking for. Have a platform that is more broad. It's not just about movement. You know,
nice.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. And I think I was one for not knocking, but for not having as much faith in the virtual world. I had one client prior to the quarantine, and so based on what you're saying, it's, we realize now how much more, as well as, like you said, movement, nutrition, and regeneration methods, whatever platform you talk about, there is so much more opportunity now in the virtual world that we realize, like, something like this is not going to go away for a while. Like, how we making do. And I think that stems really important for you, right? Where if you can do this work, still be in this field, but be close to family at the same time, like that's also my dream, right? Like having the best of both.
Yeah.
We really hope to see that. That'd be really awesome. I think that's like, yeah. Well, I'm excited to learn more about that, like as you develop that. But we understand, like, things take time. And what did you say?
I'll send you a resume, Lulu. Just let me know.
Thank you.
Oh, what are you hiring? That's my question.
I'm working on that. But like now the virtual world is here, and in our industry is changing, and we need to change with it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is the future. We cannot deny it. I think this pandemic anticipated this reality of like a virtual training, but would happen anyway because it's how things are leading to. So we just needed to be flexible enough and see the opportunities that lies before our eyes.
No, for real. Thank you, Lulu.
Of course.
Hey, Lulu. What's up?
What's up? Is it you now? Oh my God, I'm scared.
No, I only have maybe like one or two questions for you for the sake of time. I don't want to take away from your day, but you mentioned earlier about, your dancing career and I think body image, and I think that's something that a lot of people deal with. I have a lot of friends that are dancers. I have, the majority of my friends are in the fitness industry. What do you say, or, what do you have to say to people that struggle with body image, whether they be in the dancing industry or the fitness industry? Something that you've probably told yourself in the past that was able to get you over the hump of, any challenges you've probably faced.
Yeah, that is really, really hard, right? When you're a dancer, you needed to look in a certain way. If you are in the fitness industry, you are expected to look in a certain way. And I understand why people have those expectations, but in meantime, like none of this, the way you look, express how professional and how knowledgeable you are and your potential, right? I think I mentioned this to Angel when I was working with him, that I always try to bring myself down to earth in terms of don't go crazy on how I look, because this is not important, okay? Because everybody gonna grow old, everybody, like in a moment of your life, you're gonna feel and see that you are not in the best shape ever, and you cannot let this down or define you, right? So if I'm looking in the mirror too often, or if I'm questioning myself, like my stomach is flat, I start catching myself and say, that is not important. You are more than your body, and it's easier for me because, of course, like I'm mature, I'm older, and I can have those talks and I can identify those things. But sometimes for the young generation, where they are so forced by the social media, by the society, and for peer pressure, right? Like to go against those things is even harder. So maybe we just needed to keep remind them how great they are and bring it to the surface all the other qualities that they have despite the way they look.
That's great. Thank you. No, that's big, especially now, everybody being inside, some people spending more time with their family. A lot of that shit could be just completely traumatizing for people, depending on cultures and depending on lifestyles. Being in a certain environment for too long could also be a little uncomfortable because, you always have to go outside of your shell sometimes to find what it is that you may be good at. Bringing it back to fitness, what's something that you've been doing, especially in your commercial gym that you have in your room? How have your workouts been in terms of maybe keeping injury free, tending to those injuries that you've had in the past, especially with your lower back? How has your fitness routine been?
I've been doing what my body feels like doing, and this has been amazing. I do program for myself, but I feel like the time, like you said, we are all home and we can listen to our bodies a little bit more is amazing. And I'm doing this more often, so today I wake up and I felt only to do mobility and stretch work. So this is what I did for 1 hour and a half. Yesterday I was feeling like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit more of strengthening. So I put more effort on those things. So this is what I'm doing. Like, I'm just trying to listen to my body a little bit more. Like you guys already said, when we are in work mode, we barely have time to work out ourselves, right? And when we do, we are so exhausted, like lack of sleep. Maybe we didn't eat that. We had like 7 sessions in a row. We didn't have lunch, but if we don't work out that moment, we don't gonna have time. So, okay, let's work out. So now we have time to sleep. We have time to listen to what we want to our body. So I'm doing this. I work out every day, but I'm not worried on like putting something, okay, I'm following and being strict with myself. I'm just,
You're going with the flow.
I wanted to move my body. Yes, I wanted to move my body. I wanted to be active. I wanted to move well. And like that longevity that I told you, I apply to myself. I just wanted to keep doing this for as long as I can.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
what are your plans for the weekend? Are you doing anything fun? Have you been going out, especially since things have been, a little more lenient? I mean, I have my own opinions on the leniency that things have been, but do you have any plans? Have you been going out?
Honestly, I haven't seen anybody. I haven't left my house that much.
Did you get sick?
Out. No.
Nice.
Unbelievably. Not even a cold. I'm like strong. Lucky. I'm so good.
How's Wayne? How's Wayne? Yeah.
Wayne is too.
Okay.
He is so strong right now.
There we go. Wow. Awesome. He's working out and everything?
He is doing better.
Okay. All right. We'll talk off air.
That's a good point though about going with the flow.
Sorry, I forgot. I have a battle rope because he wants to buy one.
What?
Fucking God. Yo, Angel, cut her out of the Zoom. We're done.
No, this is good. I'm so.
Thanks for listening, guys. Tune in next week for another episode.
No.
Exactly.
I'm so proud.
Yeah, thank you.
But I think the biggest thing is like your time. Remember, like every time you had a session, every time you wanted to work out, it was like everybody was trying to take something away. You got David saying, "Hey, Lulu, you better work out harder," or you got somebody, "Oh yeah, you're not sweating enough," or "Oh yeah, Lulu,
when
I like the shorts."
I ever said to work out harder?
All this stuff, but now you have the time for yourself by yourself, and you're focusing. So I'm just, I don't know. I think we're all kind of proud of you, seeing you getting it done.
Thank you.
Jealous and proud.
Thank you. I do appreciate it, yes. Yeah, in the club it's kind of difficult because you always have someone or something taking you from like the freedom of just being there in the moment. Um, but it's also like my option to my choice, right? When I was working out with you to interact with everybody else. So I cannot blame anyone for that. But definitely being home and just focusing on what I have to do is great. So I working out. I do go out sometimes, but I haven't done much yet. But I go like Dumbo area that is very nice, like more by the water. Times that I know is very quiet. Don't want to be crowded.
How's the environment been? With people, are there a lot of people in there?
Yes, actually, it's being like a lot of people out, but like I think New Yorkers, we are like more into following the rules, and I see a lot of people
most
like
of us, yeah.
Yeah, so like in general, I think people is putting like the effort in wear the mask, which is great.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm gonna start going to the beach, but also like
Ooh.
yeah.
You gotta show what you've been working hard for, though, right?
But I also been eating like crazy.
All the pasta and Nutella. Oh.
But anyway,
you keep doing you, Lulu. Don't let Jacques guilt you. He likes doing that.
I'm not guilting you.
No, but no, it is not. But I go anyway, and I just again because it's good for the mind. And on top of that, I know I'm not going out or anything, but I'm very like family oriented. Even though I like always to live abroad, far from my family is very like incoherent. But I'm just saying that I like to spend time with them now, like with Zoom or like FaceTime. Have like a book club with my kids over there. My kids is my nephews and my niece. So I was given the gift of time with my family. So I'm so grateful for that too. Now I'm participating in their lives a little bit more, and I'm feeding off their energy too, even if they are so far from me. And with all this pandemic, it's hard to be far from them because if something happens, I can be there, So I'm trying to manage all this stress too. And the way I find is keeping contact with them and try to educate them and how to go about all those things.
Are they listening to you in terms of, I don't know, health and wellness and, the pandemic stuff? Because I mean, it's hitting hard in Brazil, isn't it? And I think from what I've read, the government isn't being the biggest, supporter or advocate of safety.
You're correct. Brazil is like the second country with the larger number of deaths and cases, of course. And unfortunately, the government is not taking the right precautions. And
sounds familiar.
Yeah, because Brazilian president is following the same directions of the United States president, which seems like they are kind of buddies. And even we are sending our military to help Trump with his endeavors. And Brazil, we always bring United States allied, but never for those type of things. And a lot of going on. We can be talking about that. Actually, I have a lot to talk about that because, I live in a country where we are the top, and I'm from the country that is the second, and where is my family is there, and they are following the same mistakes. And like here, we have a lot of people that just think that president can do no wrong. And this is slowing down the process of change and help others, On top of that, Brazil doesn't have the same resources that we have here. So we are really like losing a lot of people. We don't have beds. We don't have enough doctors. We don't have infrastructure to take care of our people. And now he is the one doing rallies all the time. He said that he tested positive for coronavirus, which I'm not so sure if it's true, but this is other thing. But the fact is, all this is happening because the right actions are not taking place. And that is scary because everybody's out there working, taking public transportation, and when we're supposed to be all at home, So my family tried to listen to me, but in the meantime, they have to go to work, right? They have to do the other things. So it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's been crazy here too, I think, with, just government backing and certain states having their own views on it and certain people having their own views on it. It's tough. It's hard to, like you said, move forward when there's so much science backing what I think we all know about what to do, but then you have the people that are more of like, well, fuck the government. I know what I'm doing. This is America. Who gives you the right to take away my breathing? I'm like, no one's fucking doing that. So it's just, it has to do with, I think, people's morals and just, it's tough. It's hard.
The other thing as well, one of my buddies I spoke to yesterday said about like when because Alex told me some articles about there being the treatment, the what do you call it, like an antiviral drug that can, like a cure, if you will.
Chloroquine.
No, it's not that. It's something else. Supposedly, I can't think of the word. Not something cure, but vaccine is the one I'm thinking of. Sorry. So supposedly there's some in phase 1. Hopefully by the end of the month there should be by phase 3. But there's 2 things to that as well that's interesting. Is one, there's so many more steps that happen after that. Not everyone responds the same to the specific vaccine. And also, if there are issues to supply masks in this country, right? Just fucking masks, not a complex formula to help kill a virus, freaking masks. How on earth is this country going to deal with distributing a vaccine if it can't even do it with masks like correctly? It's fucking like there's a show on Netflix called The Patriot Act. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he spoke about in March when we were getting our rise in numbers, the US had still been sending out masks outside the country. And like he said, this is the one time I actually sound like I'm agreeing with Trump because he's like, oh, stop sending out these masks outside the country. And it makes sense. Like in a country that was really getting hit harder the most, probably in the world, in the US in March, that you're sending masks outside. So that's also the thing. Like, hey, this isn't over just because the vaccine almost done. This is far from.
And even then, the vaccine it could be here next year.
Let's be real over here, right? Like this isn't like life isn't gonna come close to back to normal till probably at least 2021. Like a client of mine feels that the gyms won't open until 2021. That's his prediction.
Yeah, mine says that too.
And if we had talked about this in March or even April, we're like, we'll be open by summer. But now you think about it, like
in March, I thought we would be open by May.
I thought we'd be open in a month. I thought a month. I actually thought between 2 and 4 weeks. So when we went to Jersey for 2 weeks originally. We were there for 3 months. So it's like, but part of it is not expect. I think if you are okay, well, not okay, if you kind of familiarize yourself with not expecting to go back in 2 weeks, right? Just understand that like it might take longer. Like when you think of movies that are like in some kind of quarantine, you're like, oh shit, that must be horrible. Or they summarize like 10 years in 2 hours, right? Or something like that. Like this like 4 or 5 month period is like taking forever. But at the same time, like I'll tell you this, right? I was in IKEA on Wednesday. We took the train. Mm-hmm. So I thought the train was like, okay, until someone started cutting her nails on it, which I thought was grim. But then when we're in the store, we're paying, we look around, everyone's wearing masks, right? Except for one guy. And it's the guy behind me in the freaking line, and he's not wearing a mask. It's not even around his neck. It's not even underneath his nose. No mask. So I think that when they come in, they make sure you wear masks. Someone's wearing a mask like this and said, no, you have to put it above your nose. But what's crazy is no one in the store even said anything to him. When he went to go pay, if I'm the person ringing him up, the register, I'd be like, I'm not ringing you up until you have your mask on. Like the fact that no one, and shocker, he was a white male. Absolute shocker. The majority of people.
You woke up in a free country, Jacques.
So, like, don't even come close to me if you're not wearing a mask. And the majority of the people I've seen out here, at least in Manhattan, are not wearing masks, are white males. And it's this whole, and you know what? I'll say this because I'll hopefully reach people when I say this, but like, I'm so fucking embarrassed to be a white male in the United States. It's really, and it's not to say it goes anything close to how someone of color can feel with like, the injustice, but I'm just pointing out that like, it's so fucking embarrassing that like white males who think they know there is that privilege, right? Not only being male, but being white, and they just don't think it appeals to them, and like, I don't understand why you can get away with it, or you shouldn't abide, and everyone else shouldn't, or should, and you shouldn't. Like, what's the deal here? Why is that? So that's just observations I've made, but like, that's just me ranting as well. Like, it's freaking stupid.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing it. Actually, like, it's good to hear that. Like,
yeah, it's yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, please.
David, you're muted.
I just want to say that I know it's distraction from carbon conversation, but it's just something that, and we mentioned in previous episodes that like we've had conversations with friends, and then when you hear their opinions, like I'm only realizing now, like some more and more of the statues we have in this country or in this city, how messed up they are. And I think it's crazy that Georgine said a really strong point when I went past the Theodore Roosevelt statue last week. She said someone reached out to her and said like she didn't understand what the big deal was. And this her follower on Instagram, I believe was Jewish or of Jewish heritage. And her point was Hitler did horrible things in Germany, right? Or did horrible things in he was Austrian in Europe in general, in the world, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't see any statues of him. You don't see any statues of him. He's not celebrated. It happened, but it's not celebrated. So the fact that when someone says like, "Oh, it happened," like that to me is very upsetting to hear and think. And like,
the thing with Germany, I don't know, but when we were talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, am I unmuted? Yeah, right.
Yes,
we hear you.
Yeah. You are.
Unfortunately, right? No, but a lot of it has to do with education. I mean, in Germany, if I was reading an article, that they are educated about the fucked up shit that went on from an early age. They're like, this is what happened. They have to acknowledge.
Hitler, you mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't destroy stuff from the war. They've left it. They've just used it as something else.
Exactly.
Because I know you mentioned Italy earlier. Like, I've been to Italy and I've been to Germany as well. Like, it's so funny that Germany was the country in the biggest financial hole after the war because they had to pay all these countries all the damage they've done. And then now they're one of the more financially green countries in the world and in Europe. But going back to what you said, David, like they acknowledged it. And I know there was someone that posted something about how little information on like the Black Lives Matter movement that were taught in schools here in the US, how very little it is. So we know so little. There is, I don't know if you remember David Harris, Lulu, who was
yes,
senior.
I do.
So I don't know if you follow him on social media, but even right now, and I think it's appropriate he does this, but every single day during the month of February, he made a point of bringing up a lynching story. And today he brought up another one as well. And I was like, I can't, like, the more I read this, the more crazier and the more effed up you realize, like, and at the end of the day, it just because of someone's skin color, it's just, to me, it's like, I can never sympathize and understand because I'm not someone of color, so I can only ever try and empathize. But to me, it's like, I can't believe humans freaking did this. Like,
it's so sad. It's so sad that like people can be so evil. We never think they can be, right? And it's sad, but in the same token, it's good to say that with all these protests, like we are seeing a little change in the right path, right? And we see that more white people are also embracing. Of course, this is, is huge and a lot to do, but now we at least is a little bit one step in to do the right thing. But it's still like
still a lot to be done. Yeah,
a lot to be done, and it's sad to see that people get outraged for the stupidity of wearing a mask. So if they cannot don't wear a mask, they cannot go inside. And then I read
I don't get that. I've seen that.
Yeah, in one place that said like, yeah, if you are mad because that, imagine when the black people was say you needed to go to the back, or
you can't come in, you have to go in this line, or
exactly, or you have a different bathroom, or you have everything was different from them, and they had to take all that without saying anything, and now you're mad because you wanted you to protect other people's life and your own. Like, it's just, we can understand that. I totally get it, but I also like urge everyone to remain positive, because I think now is a moment where we are bringing that awareness, like never before, because we are bringing the young generation. Actually, they are leading all these people. And so like there is a huge hope on my part that we might be facing some changes, and we just needed to keep doing it, and embracing everyone that wants to make that change.
Absolutely. You couldn't have put it better. The fact that now there's this new generation coming through, at least we can educate them. No, I wouldn't say properly, that wasn't my right word, but sufficiently on those matters, those subjects. Yeah. We don't want to take up too much more of your time because we know we're kind of run over, but we want to thank you so much for coming on. Angel or David, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add or ask Lulu?
No, that's all I got. I think we're good. Thank you, Lulu.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Go enjoy your gym.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy your gym.
I love to be here. Thank you for having me. It was nice to catch up. And hopefully we don't need to do this again, but like we can keep in touch.
Yeah, we'll definitely, I'm sure if you're interested or you like to, we'd have you on again as well in future, as well as seeing you in real football.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Good
Bye,
seeing
Lulu.
you.
Bye.
Bye, Lulu. Take care.
Take care.
All right, guys. That was Lulu, former fitness manager of ours who just moved to Hudson Yards recently, and it was awesome she came on. For those of you who don't know Lulu, she's come on leaps and bounds, not only through learning the English language, but professionally as well. I think we can all speak to that.
Yeah, and she's been working hard to kind of like perfect everything and make sure that when she has to like either vocalize something or communicate something, that it comes out the right way, which is hard, like coming from a different culture, a different background where things are just different, right? Like I think in Brazil she's probably more used to like more physical sort of interactions, right? But in the US we're kind of like standing like away from each other, right? Like we're not like huggy or whatever, at least on a professional level, but like in Brazil it could be a little bit different. So having to
the Latin culture, maybe that might be it.
Yeah, right. Even the greeting, right? We shake hands here, but like it's a kiss on the cheek somewhere else. So it's like a little bit different in a lot of
can't do that here.
You know what though,
especially not now.
Let's be honest,
Me
right?
too.
This
can't do that.
Me too.
This awkward, you never ever have those interactions with someone, you're like, I don't know whether to just like say hello or fist bump or shake them. You don't have to worry. I could think you don't have to worry about that for a good while now. You don't have to worry about but someone, who was it? Oh yeah, that's how Alex did a little dance at City Hall. Have you guys seen City Hall recently?
No.
Y'all trying to get married?
No, I don't think any marrying happening there. It's all these kind of
that one. I got you with that one.
Shit.
You're gonna have to edit that.
No, fine.
You can't edit that.
Doesn't matter.
You can't edit that.
We're still alive, so I don't know if you want to jump in, but so no. But anyway, it it was awesome. It was like a All Lives Black Lives Matter kind of get together where like Alex and her friends did like a dance, and some people like doing DJ sets and like whatever. So it was a whole ton of stuff. It was awesome. And but City Hall has like graffiti all over the floor, but all over the buildings, like pigs must die and all this stuff.
Wow.
Oh wow, that's wild.
It's like the scene. Again, I still think this is like Dark Knight Rises with Bane's taken over, but like
that's crazy.
Really,
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, dude, it's all over the wall, like, and it is. I get it's powerful, and there's a lot of police presence there, but I hadn't been there in maybe like 6 months to a year, and it's like and the people are camping out, living there, so it's all walks of life. But shit, where was I going with this? City Hall?
Oh God,
Marriage.
Talked about eloping.
Nah. Interactions. Right. So, and then Alex had some friends, and one friend from college and one guy actually from Hamilton, name drop. And they're like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And it's just like, it's just this, right? Now the elbow and stuff. So it's
even that's more fucking awkward. Like I've been to some places and they're like, "Oh,
I can't reach the elbow."
Wait, like, come on.
So I mean, I
get it.
I get it, but yeah. So and my mace just came in. I'm so fucking pumped.
Who?
My mace. You're.
Oh, mace.
You're.
Oh God, another one.
You
got another one.
Another one. But yeah, that's pretty much about it, guys. You guys have anything planned for the weekend?
Nothing crazy.
I'm doing a barbecue cookout.
Oh shit!
My parents, Sandra's parents.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
That's
where are you getting the meat from?
I'm not bringing the food.
You just bring yourself.
I'm bringing my. I'm bringing her parents. I'm getting the rental car. I got the table. I got to bring the table up. The chairs. I got to bring that up.
Where do her parents live again?
In the Bronx.
Like
Lulu Parkway area.
Did you get in the zip car?
So the zip car was actually, there was a lot of people who I guess booked for this weekend. So this one I had to do Hertz.
You're not trying to get the Revel with the table.
Jesus, wouldn't that be something? Listen,
you can't go to the Bronx, can you? The Isle of Manhattan is shut off to go outside of it, I think.
The major bridges are cut out. I think you can go over like the small ones that don't have a toll. Like I think on 148th, there's like a small bridge that crosses over to the Bronx, but it's not like a toll or anything. It's literally like, like a bridge or street. But they do have some Revel docking stations or parking stations, I should say,
right
in
before
like the South Bronx. So they do have it in the Bronx. They do have it in Queens and I think in Brooklyn, but it's like certain.
Yeah. But I saw Brooklyn to Queens are the only two boroughs you can pass over because there's no bridge. Yeah, I was looking at it.
I think the Bronx you can. I think on 148.
Can.
Yeah.
I just want to see. I want to see if when you cross over, like,
dude, people put it in. They put it in the whatchamacallit. Put it in the train. It's not the first time I've seen people use motorcycles in this train. I'm so serious. I've seen people.
New York City.
I have a video. I have a video on my phone. Like some dude, he was just like he backed it up onto the train, and people were just like, "What's going on?
Why are you on the train? You have a motorbike. Like when you
stole it."
Yeah, but what are you? Why?
Because he's trying to hide.
He stole it, trying to hide. He can't turn it on because he stole it. Doesn't have the key.
Speaking of which, though, the Revel. I used the Revel yesterday. And the kickstand was broken. So when the kickstand is broken, for those of you who've never used the Revel bike, when the kickstand goes down, it shuts off. So the kickstand like never fully went up. So it was like 45 degrees and then like down, 45 degrees and then down. So while I was riding it, it kept shutting off because Sandra said, "Oh, pick me up from work." So I go and I get the bike and I'm ready to go. And all of a sudden the kickstand, like I just noticed like it goes like 30 miles an hour, 23 miles an hour, 19 miles an hour. I'm like, what the hell's happening? And it's shut off and I'm hitting the little green button and nothing's happening. And then like I look down and the kickstand is just out. And I'm just like, and so I had to hold it with my foot.
You're like,
hold it with my foot, my leg, and then turn it back on and then go. So the other day when we were training, you were talking about how like in England, you guys have a lot of like stick shift cars.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was driving stick shift because I was like using my foot to like find the freaking kickstand and turn it back on. was
The
wild.
closest thing you'll get. That's funny.
I gotta try the Revel. I haven't tried it yet.
It's good, man. It's also like one of those things where like when we spoke about this in the past, where like we spend so much time on screens, and this is a good time to just focus on the road and not have any like electronics when you do. At least that's why I like
No, I've never ridden a what is that? It's like a moped, right?
That's a moped.
Yeah. You upload your license and your credit card to it, and it's easy. And
give it a shot.
you have, and those of you who are a little skeptical about wearing, you should wear a helmet. I've seen people with a helmet. That's crazy. Yeah. But there's they have the hairnets, right, Angel? They put the hairnets on, and
they have hairnets. I know David's got a lot of hair now. You can wear two. One on his head, one for his beard.
Crazy.
Call it a day. Look like the crazy lunch lady or something like that.
Dude, my hair is the
Lunch man.
reason that like. And that I have a big head was that, like back in school, like playing lacrosse or whatever, it was so hard to get a helmet, or like for a bicycle helmet or anything like that. It was just fucking crazy. But I think the Revel helmets are huge anyway.
They're big, yeah. I haven't had to adjust it either, so
yeah.
But
some of them are a little narrow in the beginning, but once you get through, then you're good.
They're a bit bigger.
Man, good luck.
And we also have Austin that's going to be doing some filming photos of us.
Our boy Austin. I haven't seen him since he left the club.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he wants to do some videos. So he's got like a couple of things coming in. I think now he said some piece of equipment. I don't really know what the name of it is.
He's talking about videos and stuff. Okay, we'll discuss about it. Oh, we're trying to go, if we're able to go on your rooftop or something. Hey, you have like a whole gym, so it just makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know if you can go to my rooftop, but
maybe you come to mine then. Yeah.
If you go to my rooftop, there's a big alarm that sounds.
Same here.
There's no alarm here, so let's just come to mine then.
Yeah. Or like City College is not that bad, or the park. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Whatever's easiest. Yeah.
I don't need two wagons.
To City College. I don't know. I'll feel kind of weird because like.
Why you feel weird? There's people like picnicking and camping out and.
Oh really?
Taking pictures.
Whenever I walk by City College, the gates are always shut.
No,
I guess they go through the actual street.
Yeah,
exactly.
You get from the street. It's open. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Open, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people just hanging out there too.
Funny.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add.
Oh, what are you doing this weekend?
Alex is walking tomorrow because the stores are open, right? So Lululemon are making their own masks as well, and they're actually pretty sick.
How much are they? $80?
They haven't started, probably, right? You need one, $80. They haven't started selling them, so they're just giving them to like employees. She gave me one Saturday or Sunday. I don't know if I told you guys I was studying for my group fitness certifications. I need to just finish that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's just reading and finish that, and then
I have to do my CEUs and stuff for my research.
That's what I'm saying. It's my CEUs. It's pretty much once I pass that, I'm good for another 2 years. So
my CPR stuff expired. I gotta look.
So did ours, right, Angel? Yeah. But we never got the.
Yeah, we had to get a card. We had to get a CPR card. But now that, well, I don't want to say what I had to say, but we might get it later on, but maybe not.
I don't know. I did the research
as well.
I had to do a research online, but mine already expired. I think in early June.
Damn. Well, it's not like you can give CPR to your clients virtually anyway. So
exactly. So
breathe.
Anyway,
you can coach CPR. You can coach CPR.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're on. I'm not joking.
No. You can coach it virtually. No. Worst case scenario. Call 911.
There you go.
All right, guys.
All right,
guys.
Later.
It's a wrap.
We have our website up.
Oh yeah, website's up. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. Favorite everything on Spotify. And the website.
It's the loudest I've ever heard Angel in my fucking life.
Sorry. No, man, it's important for YouTube. Like it's life or death.
Trainerfeed.com.
For YouTube, it's life or death if you subscribe or you don't subscribe. So do that and like
all of those.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.